the Jesus that I recognize the most, or that appeals to me the most, is in those moments when he reached out to those who were wounded, and I think we all are wounded, and the incarnation is about God coming to us, and I think, in my opinion, we have been a church for probably about 800 years or so. We were a church that went out. We went out and evangelized, and we touched people's hearts, and then we got big, and we needed these buildings, and people came, and for probably another 1,000 years, 1,100 years, people came to these structures. Well, they're not coming anymore, and I think that in some ways we're not connecting with them. The term or the language the word that I would use is a language. I think that the language of the church is foreign. It's completely foreign to our secular modern world. And so when we can connect, when we can make an analogy to a sports team, when we can make an analogy to a television show, and then we can bring the people to the Lord, or more importantly, we can bring the Lord to the people. And I think that's when we're able to preach in such a way that we actually come down. Like there's that whole expression, very often I like to come away from the altar and step away from the pulpit to come down to the people. I mean, that's what Jesus did for us. God came to us. And unless we do that, unless we make that connect, then we are speaking a different language. It's like going to a Japanese mass, or going to a Spanish mass, or going to a Polish mass. If I don't speak the language, then I kind of say, hey, something's going on up there, but I really don't know what is being said. And I think that that's where we're at. I think that in some cases our language hasn't changed, but the people around us have. And you can look at you look at the United States today. We have the blessing of this melting pot, not even melting pot, the salad bowl of all these people coming in, and some of our brothers and sisters from the Spanish-speaking countries are coming in, and it's changing around us, and all of a sudden we're like waking up like, wait a minute, what's going on here? The signs in parts of our town are in Spanish. Well, we have to adjust to that as socially, and the same thing as the church. And I mean, the church is always connected in that social arena. St. Paul was so great for that. He's like, this is the unknown God that I'm speaking about in the Decapolis, and like that is what the people connected with. Like, oh. So the God of Abraham and Isaac is this unknown God. Well, I can connect with that. And we have to speak the language of the people.